morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your ever-loving host, Shorty, and I'm doing a Saturday one. Don't really do them on Saturdays, but I'm expecting it to be a quiet day today. So I thought I'd read something big and chunky, and I got through it a lot quicker than I thought I would. We're doing one of the, actually, trade paperback. I'll show you here. It's Vault Comics. Vault Comics, you do quite a lot of cool horror stuff at the moment. In fact, they just do a lot of cool stuff. I'm going to go on a limb here and say Vault Comics in a moment, up there with Aftershock and Scout in terms of like a smaller company that's putting out some absolutely brilliant content. I'm not saying like everything they do is perfect, because sometimes they kind of have a little bit of fun with the art and it doesn't quite land for me. Sometimes the actual concept isn't something that's going to appeal to me. But I've got to say, if you want to try something out that's a bit new, it's going to push you a little bit to try something different. Can't really go wrong with Vault. They do something really, really cool. Anyway, what I'm reviewing today is actually a trade paperback. I missed as it was coming out in single issues, which is not like me, them doing a horror thing. That's exactly what I'd be into, but I did miss out on it, especially one was called Cult Classic Creature Feature. Creature features are amazing. Don't get me wrong, my favorite horror subgenre is still teeny slasher. I like the whole cabin in the woods thing, don't get me wrong. This one feels more like, if you've ever seen the movie Slither, it's that kind of vibe to it. But it managed to do enough stuff different that it isn't just like it isn't just an homage, it's doing its own thing. Right off the bat, though, I'm going to say the one thing about it which didn't grab me early on is they do a thing where they jump over the story quite a little bit. It reminds me of the criticism against Lord of the Rings, where they have the same shot done by 7 different cameras and they really fast cut between them all. And it is a bit of a pain, really. I think of this kind of horror, something like a slow burn would have been slightly better, so you can actually build up each person's arc until you get to the point that they meet. It's not like it's a terrible thing, but honestly, there's one page where it looked like it was 6-panel grids over 2 pages. It wasn't. It was 6 across both pages and 6 across the bottom of the page. If you read it slightly out of order, it kind of messed up a little bit. Because you were jumping from narrative to narrative, it meant it was not exactly the easiest thing to understand. Not problematic. I basically went back and read it from the start of the page again, read it in a different order, and it all made sense again once you knew what was going on. But it's a shame that a layout issue is going to spoil my enjoyment of it. Even if it's just a tiny little bit, it did still spoil it a little bit. That's not to say they didn't get some pages absolutely right. Look at that. That looks amazing. That's how you do a splash page, which is still going to have a narrative flow to it, where it's not just like one image. You've got panels within the page, and you actually get a sense of stuff happening and moving along there. That is a really, really good comic book page. And the art is fantastic. They have an awful lot of fun with the creature side of things. The primary thing that you're going to encounter is skinless creatures wandering around, effectively skeletons, but with some internal organs still allows them to scream. They still have eyeballs. They don't seem to be able to use them. They walk into stuff quite a lot, but when you see the eyeballs and they are all off to one side and looking weird, it really adds to that otherworldly, inhuman nature of what's going on. The story is, as I say, it's a classic. Well, it's called Cult Classic Creature Feature. It's not going to blow anyone's mind with a story on it. Pretty much the only thing it does that surprises me is the body count. And I don't mean that in like a terrible, like, oh my God, everyone's going to die away. They handle the deaths really effectively. There's no simple way out of things. You don't have a guarantee that anyone's going to make it to the end. Which is great, because in a lot of the Cult Classic Creature Feature kind of stuff, you have a certain predictable all-American jock or virginal, should I say, character who tends to survive. There's people who are far more into horror than I have, who've written quite interesting essays on the problems with the virginal characters and how damaging that is a stereotype. And it's kind of nice that they don't go for this one. It's literally, you're in a situation where there is an alien from another world spawning I forgot the correct term for it, the arthropod slugs, which are infecting people and ripping their skin off and turning them into crazy skeleton killing machines. Nobody is safe from that. It doesn't matter if you've been laid or not. And I like the fact that they just have an awful lot of, I'd say, fun, but I don't know if that's quite the right word, because it is gruesome and it's gory. And when people get hurt, they really get hurt. The ending has a little bit of a Stephen King twist to it as well, which is really quite nice. Although when I say Stephen King, what I mainly mean is there's a movie based on one of his books, which has an excellent ending to it, one I absolutely love. Not to everyone's taste, I admit that, but it doesn't just end the way you expect it to do. There is no happy ending. And this one goes along those same kind of lines. I'm not going to say they don't deal with the giant monster threats. I'm not going to say they do. I'm not going to say who survives or anything, because you really need to actually read it and enjoy it and to get the full scope of it. And we have a couple of copies in stock, but if you're watching this and you have no idea who I am, you just popped on because you wanted to watch a comic book review, contact your local friendly comic book store, ask them for a copy of this. There's actually more than one Cult Classic trade out there. I'm going to go back and try and find the rest of them. Genuinely worth it. Anyway, that's all from me. That's my 5 minutes. I'm going to do this again probably on Tuesday, so I'll see you then. Bye!